It's windy, it's cloudy, but it's a great day for soccer. Hello everyone and welcome inside Hazeltine Field. Alongside Ryan Denman, I'm Aguirre DeLeo, and we got the Lawndale Cardinals taking on the El Segundo Eagles in an Ocean League matchup. Now Ryan, the last time we saw the Eagles, they had a hard-fought battle against Culver City, winning that one though 4-3, and it was 4 different goal scorers for the Eagles. It shows how unselfish this team is, getting everyone involved.
Oh yeah, you can just look at the stats sheet alone and you can tell that this team has a lot of different players that contribute a lot of different special qualities to this team, and it directly contributes to the team's success.
And for the Lawndale Cardinals, they've been up and down this season, but what they do have an edge here on the El Segundo Eagles, they beat the Eagles last year here at Hazeltine Field 3-2, and they have that going for them, and they're going to look to repeat those results here today.
Oh yeah, Lawndale has had a bit of a rough start to their season, but they've got a lot of good players, and with El Segundo, you've got a lot of returning players as well, and players don't forget losses over seasons, and so it'll be an interesting game today.
Yeah, especially knowing now what we know about the El Segundo Eagles, the terrific accomplishment that they had last season. That win by Lawndale means a whole lot more, and should be a good contest. It's the Eagles and the Cardinals next on El Segundo TV.
On 3, 1, 2, 3, go now!
Hello everyone and welcome inside Hazeltine Field. Again, Ryan Denman and Aguirre DeLeo here on the call today between this Ocean League matchup. It's the Eagles and the Cardinals in an Ocean League rivalry game. Ryan, should be a good one.
Oh yeah, we're all excited for this. It looks like the Eagles have had a little bit of a better start with a 3-0 start to the league play. Lawndale has had a little bit of trouble. They've got an 0-3 start, but they seem to be close to about 500 for their all-season totals. So we're all excited to see what's going to come out.
Yeah, El Segundo comes in with a total record of 10-1-2. The Cardinals have a record of 7-9-3. The officials for today's game, David Henshaw and David Schneiderman. And we are underway from Hazeltine Field between the Eagles and the Lawndale Cardinals. Again, last year, Ryan, the Cardinals came in here and beat El Segundo 3-2. Here's a header early on. That was Sam Twigg, who was really itching for a goal last game against Culver City. Did not get it, but really gave a terrific effort in that match.
Oh yeah, we're already seeing what we heard Andrew Kelly, Coach Kelly of the El Segundo Eagles, tell his team before, is they got to come out aggressive, and we have seen that already.
And that was the issue when I interviewed him last game against Culver City. He said we didn't come out aggressive enough. We weren't up tempo enough in that game against Culver City, and that's why it was a close game, 4-3. And big reason because since Christmas and the holiday break, the Eagles only practiced twice before that Culver City game. So there's a big layoff there, and that kind of showed in the play of the Eagles when they started last week against Culver City.
Yeah, any kind of break is going to be tough for any team, but especially in soccer, if it's such a physically demanding sport, you got to keep it up.
We're waiting for a throw-in by the Cardinals. The Cardinals coached by first-year head coach Dennis Stein. Lawndale was 13-11-4, 6-3-1 in league last year. This one's sent in. Amaral gets to it. James Amaral, the senior keeper, starting in front of the net for the El Segundo Eagles. Did not start the last game. It was Nate Abrams in front of the net for the Eagles. Here's Logan. Now on tipped away off the foot of Cesar Martinez, the captain for the Cardinals. El Segundo looking to spread out this Lawndale defense. Here's Martinez. 2-1 situation there, and Lawndale got the better of it. El Segundo back with the ball. Here's Sam Twigg, has some space. Running up. Setting it up inside, but no go. The Cardinals can breathe for now.
You know, we touched on it earlier, the aggression of El Segundo Eagles, but it looks like Lawndale's coming out pretty hot and heavy themselves. Obviously, they want to get another win from this field as well.
And you said in pregame, players don't forget, and a lot of these players are also returning on the Cardinals side. So they remember, hey, we came in here, we beat this El Segundo team. Yeah, it was close 3-2, but maybe we can do it again, and that's what they're looking for here. Here's another threat, Malcolm Holtzman. Just cannot hang on to the ball. Good defending by Raymond Lombrera, the other captain for the Lawndale Cardinals. His opposite number, Nate Salazar for the Eagles, working down the far sideline. And all three players that scored last year in that game, in that victory against El Segundo, are back on this team. Anthony Canseco, Brandon Flores, and Mario Perez. Here's Martinez. Here come the Eagles the other way. Salazar setting it up, looking for Sam Twig or Malcolm Holtzman, but it gets intercepted.
Got to take advantage of those counters when you get them.
Now Lawndale with the ball. Midfield, here's Sam Twig off the Lawndale foot. Malcolm Holtzman.
Got Casey on the side. Casey Lund with the ball.
Let's see, Casey didn't start that Culver City game, and when he came in, the complexion of the game changed completely. Looking to set it up inside for Jack Finders there, 23. And what does a guy like Casey Lund bring to a team when he's in there?
Well, it's one thing about Casey Lund is he is such an awesome center midfielder. He is a real strong presence. He's comfortable on the ball, but the other thing that he adds, which is huge in the high school sports.
That header by Feeney, just a little too much on it.
But to continue, as what we were saying about Casey Lund, one of the biggest things to have in your center midfielder in high school sports is someone who's big in the air and aggressive, and that is something that Casey Lund is definitely able to do.
And also has that game-winning penalty kick last year in the CIF game in the rain against Hesperia on his resume. Terrific moment for him and for the school here in El Segundo.
Yeah, for such a young player, keep in mind he's only a junior right now. He has quite the resume.
Now, we talked about it before the game started. He's also changed his body a little bit bigger this season from last season. And like you said, he has another year here at the El Segundo High School. Easy play for Amaral. Sam Twig, Feeney, gets it back, comes back inside. Nice setup pass, but it's taken away by the Cardinals. Back to Feeney. Back and forth they go. Here's Vizino, who had a goal against Culver City. Malcolm Holtzman, too much on it. Oh. Good look, though. They were looking for him there. And a good read, just couldn't get it on target.
But if they keep this up, surely something will come of it.
And that's a dangerous guy, number 10. He's the leading goal scorer for the Eagles with 8 on the season. Didn't have any goals last game against Culver City. There's Lund. Good hustle by Lund, getting the ball taken away. Here's Holtzman. Nice battle. He said both these teams so far starting out aggressively. Logan, first man to get to the ball. He's chased down by Cesar Martinez.
Very smart play by Logan.
And get it back to his keeper. James Amaral, a two-sport athlete, also plays football here at El Segundo, a middle linebacker, captain on the football team. Here's Martinez to Lund. Lund to his left, looking for Sam Twig, intercepted by number 4, Edgar Montalvo. Now Martinez for the Cardinals. Sends it across. Juan Cabrallo.
Now Lawndale's starting to knock the ball around.
Yeah, looking to spread out this Eagles defense.
Ooh, some nice touches.
Jack Finders. And it was a back-and-forth game, that game against Culver City, and it wasn't until the last few minutes of the game, Jack Finders' goal put up the Eagles 4-3, and that was the final. Here's Casey Lund, a boot, but a nice block by the keeper, Angel Infante, for the Cardinals.
But as we saw there, looks like Angel had a little bit of trouble holding on to that ball. And Andrew Kelly told his team that they really need to be crowding the keeper on every shot.
I saw the power right there, you know, a boot coming through for Infante, just couldn't hang on perhaps.
Huge.
Here's a 2-on-1 situation for Lawndale and doesn't get through. Logan's there for the Eagles. Nice move, gets the defender to go the wrong way. Feeney to Malcolm Holtzman. Holtzman sprinting back inside. Has Jack Finders to his left, passes it to him. Here's Finders, sends it across. Is that Vizina? Yes, heads it away, but to a Lawndale defender. Still hope for the Eagles, still in Cardinal territory, and there's the whistle.
And while there was a foul called on Vizina, what we saw there was some great aggression, and once you lose that ball on the field, you really need to work hard to get it back, and we saw that from him there.
Vizina had a goal in that game against the Centaurs, bringing his total to 3 goals on the season with 4 assists. There's Vizina.
He's the first defender. And is able to draw the foul.
Goes against Lawndale, and you said both teams coming out hard, and we're seeing it so far. We've played almost 10 minutes here in this first half. It's been a good one so far.
Yes, both teams have been able to link some nice passes together and have had opportunities. Looks like El Segundo's had a few more so far, but we'll see how the game goes.
Free kick opportunity now for the Eagles. Alejandro Martinez behind the ball. Vizina to his left. There's Martinez sending it in right to the hands of Infante, the Cardinals keeper. The sophomore, Alejandro Martinez, got his first goal of the season against Culver City. There's the Cardinals at the near sideline. That one's going to go the other way. Edgar Montalavo stepped out. Quick toss in by the Eagles. 10 minutes in now in the first half. Feeling out process. Should be complete. Oh, could have been a dangerous play right there for El Segundo. And down goes Aubrey Alicorn, the senior, holding on to his ankle, now limping away.
And that was unfortunately the result of a little bit of sloppy passing by the defense there. They really need to be on their toes when they've got the offense pressuring them like that.
Here's a good opportunity for the Cardinals. 18, Anthony Canseco, the nearest to the ball. This is the best opportunity. Here's Canseco sending it in, but no threat. Amaral is there. Was that a missed opportunity for the Lawndale Cardinals? It was a good chance there to score first.
Big time. That was their best opportunity thus far, but we'll see. They did have an opportunity there that they were able to draw the foul on. Both teams are playing very aggressive. Both are holding jerseys, pulling on each other, tugging along, but the refs are letting them play.
Yeah, we'll see how the two David's official who will play this game out here, how they call this match. You got to be careful because sometimes you want to let them play, and especially as a fan and commentator, you want to see them, you know, let them play a little bit, but also you want to keep them at a safe advantage too. You don't want to get them too sloppy and too aggressive in there. That's the fine line between the officiating.
Yeah, you don't want the game to get out of hand. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt, but you also don't want to disrupt the flow of the game, and so far the refs haven't done that, so it's been going well.
There's Twig. Cutting it inside. Nice setup pass for Martinez. Now back out to the left to Holtzman. Holtzman sends it inside, tipped off a Cardinal. Feeney racing it with Martinez. Martinez gets there. Eagles touch pad, nice touch passes, getting pretty much everyone involved here. Spreading out defense. Lund running straight ahead. Nice move.
Good vision.
There's Vizina. Can he do something with it? Cornered, trapped by a Cardinal. And it's going to go the other way. What are you noticing so far from the El Segundo Eagles here as we just played almost 14 minutes here in this first half?
Well, I'm noticing that starting to slow down a little bit from the start. They had a lot of aggression going out. Now it hasn't necessarily completely subsided, but as we saw from that last play, while they did have the patience to switch the field, they didn't exactly find anything they were looking for, and that's going to be a problem if those opportunities don't start showing up.
There's a long throw and a header by Jack Finders, and is it in? No, what an opportunity. Sauter was there, but great goalkeeping by Angel Infante, saving a big goal.
That's what they got to keep doing, though. They got to keep making those opportunities. Just as we were talking about the chances not showing up, there was one, and they tried to make it.
Yeah, we keep referring to that game against Culver City, but he has to. Malcolm Holtzman had another look there, but a lot of those goals, that 4-3 result, came off of second chance, third chance opportunities, guys not giving up and sticking with it to the end, and it paid off, and that's why we saw 7 goals last game.
That's really what splits the two teams when it comes down to it, is which team is going to keep going for that ball till the end.
Again, Emeralds meets the ball. Quick toss, and the Eagles, going quickly here. Here's Sam Twigg sprinting, passing through Lawndale. Intercepted. In front of him comes Edwin Gonzalez. Here's Gonzalez. Kicks it back. Raymond Lombard.
What's going to be interesting going on is if you look at the two sizes of the teams, El Segundo has a very large bench, and it does not look like Lawndale has necessarily as many subs. So as we start to see the game go on, fatigue is going to play a major factor.
Yeah, it's a great point, Ryan. We'll see if that has anything to do with it. As you mentioned, the game goes deeper and deeper to those last few minutes. El Segundo will have those fresh legs to rely on, where Lawndale doesn't have as many opportunities to sub out guys. Here's Vizina sprinting again, sends it inside. Casey Lund looking for the header.
Beautiful delivery. Close execution. Unfortunately, no goal.
So now the Eagles knocking on the door of a goal. "16 minutes into the first half, still scoreless. Evenly contested game so far. Cardinals win that battle right there. Here comes Lawndale. 3-on-4 situation, spreading it out. Here's a shot way over the target.
Seems like we're seeing a game of counters right now. Goes from one side of the field to the other. Let's see if that's going to change.
Anything you can do, I can do better. They're trying to one-up each other here, but still no one has been able to score. As Amaral boots that one to midfield. Here's Holtzman. Sends it to the right. Vizina is there. He's met by Mario Perez. Cardinals with a quick throw-in. Playing down that sideline, the far sideline. Cardinals keep possession of the ball here. Or no.
Looks like he called a foul on the little shove in the back there.
Switched it up on us. Logan to Sam Twigg. Twigg trying to go through the defender. Gets Malcolm Holtzman. Feeney has space. And sends it wide.
Looks like he got a little bit too excited there. Could have had an opportunity to play it wide. Could have played it in. Unfortunately, wasn't able to connect on that shot.
And I think when the ball got to him, he saw that open space and got a little excited, just let it go. I wonder if the wind, actually can't really tell from up here if the wind had anything to do with it. It's not as windy as it was the last match against Culver City, but still a little bit of a breeze down there.
Yep.
Cardinals throw it in, met by a header from El Segundo. Martinez Nate Salazar was there. He loses the ball. Here's Lopez for the Cardinals. Cesar Martinez. Alicorn. And the Eagles get it back for a second.
There's good teamwork there.
Holtzman just could not do anything with that one.
Tried to do the outside of the pass to Feeney, didn't quite work out.
Here's Sam Twig. They're going to try again. Holtzman cuts it to the left. Twig was trying to cut it the other way, the opposite way. Wasn't successful. Casey Lund is met at the ball.
Ooh.
Hard collision with the two Cardinals. And the Eagles get the whistle on their side.
And as we're seeing right now, it has been a physical game the entire time that we have been here. Both teams are going back at it. It'll be interesting to see which team can keep their cool, because as you keep hitting each other, you're going to get a little bit angry. You're going to get upset. That's how it happens.
Sporting events, especially games like teams that know each other and they play each other for so many years. We mentioned earlier that loss last season. The players remember it, and then they're in the same Ocean League. It's going to get feisty down there. Especially for El Segundo, they're not only 3-0 in Ocean League, they're 3-0 in home. So they want to keep that perfect home record as well. So a lot at stake here for El Segundo. And then for the Cardinals, 0-3. They're looking for their first Ocean League victory, and they want to play spoiler again like they did last year. Action at the middle of the field. See what the Cardinals draw up here. They're met by the Eagles right away. Cesar Martinez with a quick touch. Flores collides with Logan. And the fans here did not like that call.
Yeah, I don't even want to touch that call. That was a tricky one. Hard to tell whether or not the defender was obstructing the offense or if the offense shoved the defender in the back. But either way, free kick for Lawndale here.
Second free kick for them of this match. Mario Lopez. He scored, one of the scorers in that meeting last year here at Hazeltine Field against El Segundo. And 18, Anthony Canseco, now the nearest to the ball. Will be Lopez. A low one on the ground, and Amaral gets to it.
It was a risky move, trying to shoot under the wall. He was able to do it, but the keeper was on it.
And the opportunities the Cardinals have had, they haven't been hard shots. Amaral's been able to get in front of them. Battle there at the corner. Good defending by Lawndale so far, sticking with El Segundo. Flores kicks it out to Perez. He sends it across back to Flores. Flores with the goal! The Cardinals strike first. It's 1-0 Lawndale.
Well, that's what happens. It looks like the Eagles' defense was a little bit slow on getting out to that ball that was passed right in the middle around midfield. That gave the midfielder enough time to look around, see his winger on the left, pass it out to him. He gave it back into the middle, and then the forward was able to convert the goal.
And they're going quick. Brandon Flores, the senior, also scored last year against El Segundo here at Hazeltine Field in that 3-2 win. Here's Casey Lund sending it inside, and it goes off the foot of Edwin Gonzalez. So perhaps a surprise that Lawndale struck first here and get ahead of the Eagles 1-0.
It is a surprise that they're leading, but to be honest, the way that they scored that goal is not much of a surprise. That is how they were going to make that goal.
Sent inside the box. A lot of traffic, and it's cleared away by Lawndale for the time being, but it goes to Nate Salazar. Salazar with the loop, and the keeper, Infante, comes out in front.
Yeah, began to touch on it earlier. Lawndale's offense has been primarily all about those counters, and that attack was a counterattack. And so if Lawndale was going to score against this Eagles defense, it was going to be something like that.
Flores almost on the breakaway again there, but instead it goes out of play. Alicorn working on Sam Twig, cuts it inside. Logan gets to it. Here's Twig. He boots it into the bleachers almost. 16 minutes remaining here in this first half. Ryan, where do the Eagles have to do now playing from behind one goal?
Really, the Eagles need to keep up the energy. To be honest, their defense is getting a little flat, but their offense has been solid. They've gotten opportunities. They just haven't been able to convert. Their wing play has been fantastic. They just need to be able to head that ball into the goal.
Yeah, they've had some looks. It just hasn't gone in. And again, still lots of time here. Lots of soccer left to be played. The officials having a word with one of the fans there in the stands. And we'll begin play again, headed out. Seiko will throw it in for Lawndale. Ortiz. No one there. And you wonder, a team like Lawndale, who hasn't had that much success and still looking for their first Ocean League victory, how are they going to play? Up a goal now. You come here to El Segundo, you're winning so far. Culver City kind of did the same thing. When they took the lead, it was 2-1 at one point. They didn't know how to play with that lead, so they lost it. They weren't there mentally, and El Segundo became the stronger team, especially there in the second half, and ended up winning. So you wonder if that kind of thing can happen to the Cardinals here, since they don't have that winning experience.
Well, only time can tell. The Cardinals have been able to get some wins outside of league play and have had a bit of a rough start, as we mentioned in the beginning of the game. But
there's Vazina sending it in.
But that might be enough, actually, to motivate them to fight as much as they can, tooth and nail, to keep this lead and to keep this victory. And as you mentioned as well, we've got a few returning players from their victory last year. And those players are going to want to have a repeat.
A dispute from Mario Perez with the officials. A couple other Cardinals join in. Lawndale brings a 3-game losing streak into this one. They lost to San Fernando 2-1, then lost to Miracosta 3-1, and then lost to Santa Monica 2-1. So they're winless in their last 3 games. They're up now 1-0 with 13 minutes remaining in this first half. Another free kick opportunity for the Cardinals. Perez takes it. Hard shot inside, and Amaral just lets it go out of play.
Yeah, with those balls, those 50-50 balls in the air, El Segundo should be winning all day. It looks like they've got a bit of a height advantage against Lawndale, and so those types of balls shouldn't ever be too much of a problem for them.
Amaral's a good keeper. He was the keeper in that crucial game again against the Scorpions in the rain. Came up with some terrific saves. El Segundo's allowed now 15 goals all season long, compared to the Cardinals' 30 goals allowed. There's Malcolm. 3-on-1 situation for the time being there. Looks like the Eagles will still keep possession of the ball. Try not to mix these birds up here. Cardinals and Eagles.
looks like they're bringing up Nate Salazar, the designated team big throw, to take this one.
He's got some power behind the throw. Here's Casey Lund in the back of the net. The equalizer. 1-1.
And just like we were talking about, getting those opportunities, making them count, that's what this game is all about, and that was a great play, well done by the Eagles and Casey Lund.
That's Casey's 4th goal of the season.
And I wasn't able to see who got a flick on that one at the front post, but whatever Eagle was able to do that, well done as well.
Yeah, it was a deflection, and Lund finished it off. And we are tied up at 1 apiece with 11 minutes remaining here in this first half. Good heads-up play by Lund, being at the right place at the right time and finishing through what we talked about earlier, Ryan, is not giving up on those plays.
But it looks like the referee was reaching into his pocket on that one.
Yeah, hard collision there near the flag, and Andrew Kelly is livid.
He definitely wanted a caution on that one, but it looks like the referee just gave the player a talking to, and we'll see how that goes.
Here are the Cardinals. Couldn't get enough on that one. Martinez. Oh, Emerald with a good save, diving across and sprinting now to the ball and hugs the ball tight and saves a goal. Big opportunity there by the Lawndale Cardinals. And their official talking to Emerald and Logan.
Well, it looks like the referee might have been calling obstruction against number 4, Logan, for the Eagles. But it doesn't seem like any of the fans or any of the Eagles players are happy about it, that is for sure.
It will stand, though. Controversial call if you have it. Mario Perez will line up for a terrific free kick spot here for Lawndale. 1-1 game. Perez is deflected off of Lund. The Cardinals still threatening and cleared away for now. Back it comes. Here's Feeney. Martinez just getting it away. Casey Lund sprinting. Here's Sam Twig. Eagles now threatening the other way. Twig inside. And what a chance there for Lawndale. Andrew Kelly is livid on the sidelines because, and rightfully so, Cardinals really, really near a goal there. Could have changed the dynamic of this one. Here, a corner off the chest of Ortiz and off the top of the goalpost.
Looks like the Eagles get another corner kick on this one. But like what we talked about earlier, it's been a physical game, and we're going to see how it keeps going, and these referees are going to play a bigger part.
This one sent in Feeney, the nearest Eagle there. Ryan, you played for El Segundo as a player. After a call like that, how do you give – you want to forget and move on, and how do you just forget about it and just go to the next play?
Well, it's tough. Sometimes you got to really focus on the mentality of the game and really try and tune out that play. The other part of it, though, is that sometimes you can't. And what you need to do is you need to be able to channel that aggression that you're feeling towards playing smart and creating opportunities for your teammates.
Yeah, the game last year, too, was very physical, very aggressive, very exciting as well, if you're a spectator. Got a Cardinal down there. I believe that's Diego Ortiz, number 5. Yep.
Foul on the new sub from the Eagles, Devontae Bowers. making his presence known on the field very quickly.
Ortiz looks to be okay. Sauter. There's an opportunity once again for the Cardinals.
And as the Eagles, you cannot allow that to happen. You just scored a goal to pull yourself even. You cannot relax at this point. Halftime is only 6.5 minutes away or so, but you got to keep it up. You got to take energy into the locker room, and then you got to come out with it again. You have another 40 minutes to play.
Yeah, not only can you not relax, you got to put some pressure now the other way against the Lawndale Cardinals. Hey, yeah, you got the first goal on us, but now we just tied it up, and we're at home. You know, we're the bigger team. So we'll see how both teams adjust here. You mentioned a little over 6 minutes remaining here in this first half. It'll be interesting to see what both coaches do at halftime and what adjustments they make. Sauter. Martinez for the Cardinals. Just lets this one roll out. Here's the senior keeper. Finds Finders. Vizina. Jack Finders gets back to it. Sam Twig's there. Sam Twig looking to come inside for Casey Lund. Oh, what an opportunity. Vizina, the closest chance today. Infante really working hard in front of the net there.
And that looked like a goal line save by Edgar Montevallo.
How did the goalie end up with that going that way?
What a look for El Segundo. Here's the Eagles threatening again. Finders goes down. And a late whistle.
Let's see what the referee called here.
And they went quick.
Tried to catch the keeper off his toes, but ended up not working out.
Here's Feeney. Under 4 minutes now in this first half. Keeper comes out in front. Big boot by Infante. It's met by Sauter's head. Sam Twig, short pass. Chris Herrera's in the game for El Segundo, number 5. Has 1 goal on the season. Sauter finds Finders for the time being. Deflected off El Segundo. Cutting inside to the Cardinals, flying inside. The captain. Ooh, looking to take the lead.
Missed it by a hair on that one.
We are now under 3 minutes.
And at this point, it really does seem like both teams are almost waiting for halftime. They're starting to slow down. They're not thinking as smart and as quick as they were before. They're not knocking the ball around. So we'll see what coaches have to tell them.
See the adjustments, and the wind looks like it's picking up also a little bit here. We'll see what effect the weather has in the second half. Here comes El Segundo sprinting. A race for the ball. Finders and Lombera at the corner.
Okay, and we're seeing a play very reminiscent of El Segundo's first goal. We've got Nate Salazar coming to take the throw. Let's see if we're going to see a repeat.
Look for Casey Lund inside. Jack Finders. Finders gets it. touches at first. The Cardinals looking to clear it away. Not out of the danger zone yet. Here's Vezina rounding about. And his ball's taken away by Cesar Martinez. Now the Cardinals get it for at least at the 40 for the time being.
Now they're knocking it.
Here's Vezina. 3-on-1. Looking for Sam Twig. It's intercepted and booted away. Salazar, though, meets it behind the 50.
He sees Lund.
Now we are under 2 minutes, and this one will roll to James Amaral. Good series for the El Segundo Eagles. And you mentioned their height advantage earlier. You really saw it there in that set piece. El Segundo a little bit taller than Lawndale here.
Oh, yeah.
Nice move by Finders. Looking for Bowers. Casey Lund to Vezina. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Salazar will throw it in from the far sideline.
And he's got a lot of options. He's got Lund, he's got Devontae, he's got Finders.
Look for Feeney also there. Number 6. Feeney touches a piece of it. There's Bowers. It goes in. But there's a whistle.
The referee calls a foul.
Yeah, no goal.
Not quite sure what he saw, but he saw something. And he called it back.
Still 1-1. Bowers has made an impact since checking in later into this first half. Bowers has 3 goals on the season. Here is Lawndale. Now the whistle goes against the Cardinals.
For an offside.
Playing the ball short.
Knocking it to players with space. Fundamentals of the game.
There's Lund with heads
ooh,
inside.
What was almost a great ball to Devontae Bowers there.
Yeah, he was looking for 25. There's Salazar, quick toss in, past Casey
flick.
Lund. Vezina, Herrera, and Infante comes out.
And that'll be halftime.
That's the halftime whistle. The El Segundo Eagles and the Lawndale Cardinals are tied up at 1 apiece. Ryan, real quick, what did you see from, we'll start with the visitors, the Lawndale Cardinals.
I mean, what a physical team. That team is playing with a lot of aggression. And really, they're playing harder than the Eagles at this point. I would say that with their counters and everything that they're doing, they are a scrappy team, and we'll see what they come out with the second half.
What does El Segundo have to do to break this tie and go home undefeated still in Ocean League play?
Well, while I said Lawndale is the team that has been playing harder, El Segundo has shown to be the team that is more skilled. They have been able to knock the ball around, to find players with space, and to actually have developing plays. They're playing smarter, but the big challenge for them is going to be staying focused. As we mentioned, the physicalness of the other team, what tends to happen when you start getting beat on by a team that's less skilled than you and you stay in a close competition like it is right now with this 1-1 tie, you got to stay focused. If you break, your team's going to break.
It's been a great first 40 minutes. Should be a great second half. Don't go anywhere. We're tied up 1 apiece between the Lawndale Cardinals and the El Segundo Eagles. We'll be right back right here on El Segundo TV. Hello everyone and welcome back inside Hazeltine Field for the start of the second half between the Lawndale Cardinals and the El Segundo Eagles alongside Ryan Denman, Amagir Deliu. And we thank you for joining us today here as these two teams clash in a 1-1 game. So far, it's been a great game, Ryan.
Oh yeah, it's been fantastic. A lot of physicality, and I can't wait to see another half of it.
Just as advertised, a quick shot by the Eagles right away. Infante meets the ball and saves a goal.
Well, you know those coaches had some definite talks with some of their players about changing their strategy, whether it was to be more aggressive, to play smarter. I'm sure each of them will receive some instruction, and so it'll be interesting to see how they take that direction.
Yeah, it was goals from Lawndale's number 17, Brandon Flores, and then Casey Lund for El Segundo. That brings us to the 1-1 score. You'll see what adjustments both squads made there at the half. You mentioned it was a very aggressive first half. The Eagles spreading it out, threatening. Sam Twig, the far sideline, coming inside. Vizina gets a piece of it, but it goes up instead of through.
Ooh. And that was a definitely good opportunity for the Eagles there. They had numbers, they had height, they got the ball across, but Vizina wasn't able to put it away. Oh, and we can hear Andrew Kelly getting frustrated with his team, seeing as they are not going after those 50-50 balls at the midfield.
You played for him. What kind of coach is he to play for, Ryan? You have that first-hand experience.
Well, he's a very experienced player. He played at the collegiate level. He's always been talented, very talented. The other thing about him, brutally honest. Any time that you are not doing what you are supposed to be doing, he is going to let you know.
Here's Mario Perez running through the table. And Coach Kelly also played himself here at El Segundo. So he brings that experience as well to the coaching ranks, and again did what he did with that team that he had last year, a team that no one expected to win what they did. Here's Bauer sending it across. Jack Finders put his right foot up but couldn't get enough on it. Sauter on the breakaway. Getting his body there, perhaps saved the goal here, did Sauter. Logan's pass goes to Lawndale. Ortiz. Caballo. Back to Ortiz. Guarded by Bowers. Looking to shut him off. Draws the whistle. Mario Perez bring it back in play. Sends it back. Near midfield, booted across, but the Eagles are the closest to the ball.
And number 4, Logan, uses his body to allow that ball to go out for a goal kick. Very smart.
Good strategy there by Logan. James Amaral staying in front of the net for the Eagles. Battle by the El Segundo logo. Here's Lawndale. Alacorn. Not enough on that one. Bounced off the turf into Amaral's hands. Good boot by James Amaral. Sam Twig, Bowers there, and it's an offside.
So far it looks like Lawndale has been taking their coach's advice, knocking that ball around. Let's see El Segundo try and get that ball back, calm down a little bit, get some knocks in, get some touches, start communicating well.
Here's Vizina.
They were able to listen to Andy's instruction about aggression. They are definitely not coming out flat, but They do need to get that ball knocked around a little bit more to give themselves more space, to give themselves an opportunity to score.
Yeah, Lawndale is sticking to them, not giving them that separation. Edgar Montalvo. Sprint near that away bleacher. Every time the ball goes on that side, it feels like there's not enough space to play.
Oh, yeah. Well, both defenses are starting to realize that they need to close down those wingers because both teams have been playing smart with the wings.
There's a breakthrough from Lawndale, threatening. Oh, Amaral comes out in front of it, uses his body to save a goal. The Cardinals aren't done yet. Sends it inside. Amaral punches it through. And finally, Nate Salazar clears it for now.
Wow, what a save. And here we have a counter on the other end.
Here's Perez. Chased down by Jack Finders. Casey Lund comes in. Perez coming through. Salazar with the slide. Perez still down. A battle here by the logo. Lawndale wins for now. Inside, off the back of Sauter. Canseco to Perez. Perez to Alicorn. Alicorn sending it aside, and Sauter is there to meet it.
That was some well-experienced defensive play there to hold their line and allow the Lawndale forwards to run past them and be drawn off sides.
Good sequence, and got to give it up to James Amaral there. Two great saves by the keeper.
Let's see if Vizina can force.
Edgar Montalvo, their number 4 on the defense. Kicks it away. Feeney heads it. That collision will draw the whistle. Anthony Canseco looked like he was going to take it, but gives away to Mario Perez. Been impressed with Perez's speed and agility. He's a little bit bigger guy, stockier guy, but man, he can move through the pitch there.
He can move, and he is strong. We have seen so much strength from him today. He's been able to beat defenders as well as shoulder him off the ball. He's been doing great.
Canseco pushes it off to Cabrera. And James Amaral again heads up play, saving another goal perhaps. He's working. They're making him work today.
Oh, yeah. And he's talking to his defense. He wants them to step up the game, make his job a little easier.
There's Casey Lund sprinting, but look at Mario Perez again. You mentioned the strength, and he used his body there. Ooh.
Mario Perez has sure been able to draw a lot of fouls. He's been playing physically himself, but he knows just the right moment to draw that foul.
That's an art in itself, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Salazar and Brandon Flores in the battle there. Throw by Salazar. Finds Vizina. Ricochets back to Vizina. This one will roll to Infante. Good ball by Infante. Here come the Cardinals. Sauter missing that one. 2-on-1 situation. Good look for Lawndale. Anthony Canseco being guarded by Vizina. Martinez. Back to Canseco. And Vezina getting to the ball in time. The corner kick coming up for the Lawndale Cardinals. They go quick. Here's Perez. Sends it in. Backwards tip. Another opportunity for Lawndale. They're not done yet. Trying it again. And finally, Segundo gets out of the way. Here's Sam Twigg working inside. Nice moves, looking for 23. Casey Lund's there. Lund brings it. Looking for Bowers. Bowers. Header is just behind the net.
Not a bad idea to try and play it to your outside winger and hit it across. But it looked like things got a little bit sloppy there with that wide pass to Casey, and then unfortunately that far cross just didn't make it work.
Pretty much like we saw in the first half, Ryan. The second half, still back and forth. One team's trying, the other one's trying to counter as well.
But I'll tell you what, it does seem like one team has come out a lot stronger this second half, and it looks like it's the Cardinals. I've not seen the Eagles winning those 50-50 balls the way they were in the first half, especially with their height requirement. And it looks like the Eagles just got a yellow card.
That's Nate Salazar that draws the card. Sam Twigg got one last game.
Yeah, there was no doubt in my mind that we were going to see a yellow card this game. It was just a matter of time.
So Mario Perez, the senior for the Cardinals. We'll take this one once again as the wind really picks up now. There's Perez sending it in. Logan's there to meet it. Cardinals still at the ball. Martinez. There's Bauer looking to head it away. Martinez boots it back inside. Another threat.
And a deep throw for Lawndale here.
Trying to find, we have a number 9 there for Segundo. I don't have him on the sheet. There always is one unnamed player, unfortunately. Chris Herrera checks out for Sauter. Malcolm Holtzman comes back in for Bowers. Now it's a different dynamic with Holtzman in there. The leading goal scorer for Segundo. Here's the throw in by the Cardinals. Still threatening. There's an opportunity. Number 9 kicks it. Vezina's there. This ball roll out of play.
And the ball's in. Ooh. Oh, and a yellow to Vezina for what looked to be a soft foul. Perhaps it was a multiple infraction. Not quite sure, but either way, that counts as there are 2 yellow cards against the El Segundo Eagles at this point.
Another free kick opportunity for the Lawndale Cardinals. And sometimes you don't know, something's being said down there too with the officials. From up here we can't tell, but especially at this level, sometimes the officials, even if you say something even out of anger, and they will count that against you. I know for myself, playing football, I was a passionate player.
Oh, it definitely happens. And while we can't hear what they're saying, those players are definitely talking.
Yeah, there's Emerald, punched it in, but no, the Cardinals find the back of the net, and it's off the foot of Brandon Flores. And just like that, Lawndale has taken the lead with 25 minutes remaining here in the second half.
Man, that was probably the best struck shot that we've seen all day. That just powered right into the back of the net. And with the keeper coming out to get the ball, originally he had no shot.
That's Flores' second goal. He has both goals for the Lawndale Cardinals here today. And again, another second or third chance opportunity right there as the ball bounced around a little bit. Amaral did save the first time, but just couldn't do it again. And Flores has 2 goals on the evening and has his team up 2-1. There's Sauter. Kicks it out to his left, looking for Logan. He comes up the wing. Malcolm Holtzman's there. Sheps had a goal last time out. He sends it across. It's too much on that one.
Still plenty of time for the Eagles to pull even and even pull ahead in this game, but they do need to start getting some opportunities.
Yeah, in that Culver City game, they kind of woke up towards the end of the second half. And they were down in that one as well. Came back to tie it and then finally took the lead 4-3. Cardinals are threatening again. Juan Cabrillo at the ball. Guarded by Sheps. Santana. Mario Perez. Ortiz. Canseco. Back to Anthony Canseco. Looking to cut inside the defense.
Oh, that looked like a little bit of a late hit. And the referee didn't like it at all, so he called it.
It's going the other way. 23 minutes remaining in the second half. The sun's starting to peek back out here. Again, we thank you for joining us from Hazeltine Field, this Ocean League matchup.
It's a good thing you pointed out that sun coming out, because that is only going to help the Eagles here. With the sun in the keeper's eyes at the point that it is in the sky with it setting, oh man, that's going to be tough for those 50-50 balls. And if the Eagles continue to crash the keeper, that's where their opportunities are going to come.
We'll see how the weather affects it. It was supposed to rain, I remember it a few days ago for today's broadcast, but thankfully it hasn't. We're still playing here today. Casey Lund with a big header. Fonte gets to it easily. Fonte gets it out in time. Sauter heads it. Casey Lund has Sheps back inside for Lund. Lund gets to it, running up. Mario Perez, though, is there. That pesky number 11. Big header by our number 9. Good battle here. 2-1, the Cardinals lead. It was a 1-1 game. Lawndale looking to break their 3-game losing streak, coming into this one and looking for their first Ocean League victory of the season. The Eagles are unbeaten in Ocean League play, looking to stay that way. And there's the hand up. Sam Twig gets called for that. Offsides. And the whistle the other way.
One offside deserves another.
Lawndale last in the standings in the Ocean League, El Segundo first. Looking to make a little splash here. Sprinting down. Cardinals looking to add to their one goal lead.
He's got a runner on the wing. And he sees him.
That's Sam Twig.
Read by the defense, though.
Malcolm Holtzman. Casey Lund now on the other side. Gets it out to Sheps. Caden Sheps. Sheps to Malcolm Holtzman. Could not connect, but Sauter gets to it. And the Eagles can maintain control. Casey Lund looking inside, and he finds Infante.
Well, the Eagles are starting to win those 50-50 balls, but they need to hold on to the ball after they get the ball, after they win it.
Here's Perez. Anthony Canseco sending it in. It's deflected off the Eagles. Here come the Cardinals back. Sauter is there in front of James Amaral. There's Sam Twig on the run. Has Malcolm Holtzman in the middle. Casey Lund calling for it as well. And Sheps, and this one sent in. Punched out by Infante and no goal.
Ooh. That was a bold choice by Twig, but it almost worked out and was able to give the Eagles a corner, allowing them another opportunity to score using that height advantage that we've talked about so much at Gideon.
See, they got those tall guys in there. 23, 17. Holtzman, Feeney, Casey Lund, of course. Lund, the goal scorer for the Eagles here today. Twig sends it in. Casey Lund, he heads it, but the other way. Cardinals can breathe for now.
And it looks like we're getting a sub from both teams. For the Eagles, they're bringing on their players who just received yellow cards. It looks like the Cardinals are giving a few of their players some breathers.
And Nate Salazar and Vizina back in for El Segundo. Giancarlo Morales comes in for the Lawndale Cardinals. And Raymond Lombera. Santana, chased down by Malcolm.
Forward Malcolm goes all the way back. Looks like there might have been some miscommunication between the keeper and his defender on there, thinking that the attacker might have kicked out that ball for a goal kick. But as it rules, it goes out for a corner.
So the Cardinals with a 2-1 lead have another good look here. Got 16, a little over 16 minutes remaining in regulation. Mario Perez will take the corner for the Cardinals. As I mentioned, Perez scored last year in this game against El Segundo here, but has not scored today. Sending that one in. Amaral dives for the punch out. Cardinals still keep possession of the ball for now. There's Perez with Sam Twig. Perez dives. And it worked.
Yeah, seems to be doing a lot today, but it seems to be working for him.
Well, they're looking for that fake out. Perez sends it back inside. No one is there. Not a white or blue jersey.
Now, if the Eagles want to win this, they really need to wake up now. They are running out of time, and they need to start getting some opportunities to put that ball behind the net.
15 minutes now remaining in regulation. Down a goal. Vizina. His ball is tipped off the foot of Edgar Montalavo.
Now we've got Nate Salazar with his big throw coming in.
26 has the power. Sent inside the box, headed away by the Cardinals. Logan gets to it, kicks it out to his left. There's Sam Twig, can't hang on. I think you blame the turf on that one, though. Still in play. This one goes back to James Amaral. Amaral finds Salazar. Here's Salazar inside. Vizina. Back to Nate Salazar. Now powered inside. Oh. Jack Finders heads it. Casey Lund also came in.
Unlucky, but at least that was a dangerous opportunity. And that's what they need to do. They've gotten some knocking the ball around over here in the midfield, but that's really not going to help you out. You got to be passing the ball closer towards the goal, a little bit more in the center of the field, and then you have more opportunities.
Now, as a former player, is that something because of, is it the Lawndale defense that's preventing it, or is it just the El Segundo Eagles need to just spread out more and get more opportunities, more looks in front of the net?
Well, one issue that the Eagles seem to be facing, and this is...
Here's Malcolm Holtzman, finds the back of the net! The equalizer from Holtzman. The leading goal scorer now has 9, but more importantly has tied the game up for his team at 2 apiece.
Oh, that was pretty. A nice cross with a beautiful finish. That's what you love to see.
As we were talking about opportunity, Holtzman gets a terrific opportunity to tie this one up with 13 minutes here in the second half. And they look to hold on to that 0 in the loss column in the Ocean League play.
Yeah, they've been getting crosses in, but they haven't had anybody on there, but Malcolm was there for that one.
Great look, and now they're going to move forward and play aggressive. Malcolm Holtzman with the steal. Can they do it again? Finders is there, off the foot of Jack Finders.
See, now they're waking up. Look at this.
What a sequence, Ryan, and definitely waking up. The crowd's waking up. We're getting into it here. Under 13 minutes now, a 2-2 game in this rivalry matchup between the Cardinals and the Eagles. It's a first-place team and a last-place team, but definitely not looking like it. Both teams playing terrific so far.
Yeah, it seems like the Eagles found their second win in that couple of plays right there, primarily due to the substitution of Malcolm, and also you have Vecina coming in at the around the same time, and that's going to bring in 2 creative players that are going to open up the field.
Definitely changes the dynamic of the
There's
pitch.
Vecina.
Vecina, you called it to Holtzman, back to number 8. Dennis Vecina pops it inside. A little too much power. Overshot Malcolm, and Jack Finders was there.
Yeah, but there's one thing that the Eagles need to work on their crosses. They're a little bit lofty. Now, that might be intentional. Like we've mentioned, the team is taller than the other team. But typically, you want to have that ball hit with a little bit more authority, so then you don't allow the defense time to move under.
Good point there. Here's Nate Salazar again with the throw-in. Long throw. Finders, here's a scramble. Dangerous opportunity. The Eagles looking to take the lead. Sauter fighting and scrambling. This will go out of play. Remains El Segundo possession.
Ooh. This is some exciting play right here.
What a game, just as advertised. Coming down to the last few minutes, a little over 11 minutes to be exact here in the second half. Again, Nate Salazar with the long throw. Inside. Oh, over the crossbar. Sauter, the nearest Eagle there, and Feeney, I believe, inches away. The Cardinals, I'm sure they're breathing for now and taking it all in. They escaped right there, Ryan.
Oh, they did. They did. And I am bending over backwards up here in the announcer's box because that looked like that was going to be the deciding goal. Unfortunately, just barely over the crossbar there. And sometimes that looks like an easy ball to put away, but with everyone around you, you sometimes don't know what's happening.
What a last few minutes from both teams. Here's Casey Lund. Malcolm working inside, passing through the defense. Sam Twig, he's dangerous. Lacey Lund, oh! Infante with the save. Vecina though sends it back in. Lund with the easy header. Oh no, the hand is up. The goal comes back. And they call it offsides, no goal. We're still tied up at 2 apiece. Wow, Ryan.
That was questionable at best call. Kind of hard to be offsides when you are being passed the ball backwards, but maybe the ref saw something that we didn't.
Nonetheless, the Cardinals now threatening on the other end. Still 2-2, under 10 minutes to play. A win in the Ocean League at stake. Lund misses the ball. Perez wins that battle, continues to fight through. The Cardinals still have possession of the ball. And Feeney tangles up with Aubrey Alicorn. Comes Casey Lund the other way for El Segundo. Finds Vizina. Vizina running. Vizina coming in. Oh, the header! Ooh! Just inches away again from another goal.
Looks like the ball's still in play.
They're still going. Nate Salazar rushing to the ball, using his body.
Man, that looked like that hit off the post to me. Did you see that?
It looked like a little bit. I didn't want to call from up here, but close. Nonetheless, close,
Very
Ryan.
close.
What a last few minutes by both teams. And you said El Segundo woke up, and they have here. This is how they should have been playing, perhaps maybe the whole game, you might argue, but they're doing it now. They have a little over 8 minutes to get the lead and remain unbeaten in Ocean League play.
And now we're seeing a lot of strategy by Lawndale to try and slow this momentum down. We saw El Segundo get a lot of opportunities in just the last 10 minutes. And really, we're seeing Lawndale do subs and walking slowly to the ball. They're really trying to throw El Segundo off their game.
Took their time with that throw in there. Zena fighting for the ball. Perez again scrambling hard. Salazar meets the ball, keeps it in play. There's Vizina sending it forward. Casey Lund, nice takeaway. Here's Sam Twig. Oh, Lawndale fighting for it. Here's Twig again. Good play, keeping the ball
got
alive.
Options.
Twig sends it inside, looking for Finders. 23 off his face. Malcolm Holtzman's there. Back to Finders and out to Sam Twig.
Player still on the ground.
And we get the whistle. It's a Cardinal down. Can't tell exactly. It looks like number 5, so Diego Ortiz. He was down earlier also. And Ortiz is walking off on his own. That's a good sign. Diego Ortiz, the sophomore. Again, good sign when a player walks off on his own. They're going to check him out there on the sideline. Hope he's okay.
And it looks like the ref is going to reward a indirect free kick as a restart, seeing as El Segundo had the ball and had to stop for Lawndale's player.
Let's see what El Segundo could do with this one. The clock was ticking. We got exactly 6 minutes here in the second half in regulation. 2-2 game. Twig at the ball, waiting for the official.
And he has asked for 10 yards. Official's going to give it to him.
Giancarlo Morales checks in for Lawndale for the injured Diego Ortiz. Here's Twig. Nice touch on the ball. Logan's there, sending it in. Sauter with a soft touch. Malcolm Holtzman still alive and now rolls out of play. Still the Eagles ball.
There's another long throw-in opportunity. Sun in the offense's favor.
5 minutes now Here's Salazar with that long throw. Holtzman has it. Vezina powers it through. Feeney's there, kicks it back. Nate Salazar with the collision. He has the ball, and now the whistle comes in late. And another Cardinal down. I believe that was the substitute, Giancarlo Morales. Taking his time to get up. And he does with a smile on his face.
Oh, and Casey Lund has a yellow card for I must assume to be dissent.
So that's 3 yellows for 3 Eagles today.
Not good timing for that to happen.
Definitely not. He comes out of the game. Number 12, Alejandro Martinez, checks in for El Segundo.
Alejandro started the game. He's playing very well. Let's see what he can bring in the last few minutes of the game.
Yeah, he got a goal against Culver City, his first of the season. So see if that momentum carries on for number 12. He's near the ball. It's Sauter that heads it. Finders sends it through. Sam Twig sprinting in front of Perez. Perez gets to it and takes it away. Perez collides with Sauter. Falls a little bit after the collision. Nothing unusual. We got a little over 3 minutes. 2-2 game. Cardinals and the Eagles in the Ocean League battling it out. Matt Sauter. Sam Twig. Jack Finders was open for the time being. Gets the ball finally, but white jerseys surround him.
Yeah, you got to give him the ball when he wants it, not when you want to give it away.
There was a brief moment there where he was open. This ball sent in front of Emerald, and he recovers it.
Good.
Holtzman chasing down the ball, and the keeper coming out in front. That could have been dangerous there, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, that definitely was an opportunity for Malcolm, and also dangerous by number 11 to use his body like that, because that could have been called obstruction.
And I noticed, too, you mentioned the sun earlier in front of the keeper's face. Infante was putting his hand in front of his face to try to protect his eyes from the sun. So let's see if that plays out here in the last few minutes of regulation. Emerald dives up and grabs the ball.
And El Segundo Eagles with the counter. Oh, too long a touch there, though.
Perez again.
Got to watch out for that counter.
This is Martinez, one of the captains. Collides with Salazar. Salazar now bringing it back for Vezina. Here's Vezina.
With space.
Sprinting as Holtzman and Finders in front of him. Vezina. Couldn't do anything with that. Martinez now chasing down the ball. Feeney and Twig also on the other side. Twig puts a foot inside, gets the ball for the brief moment, but still anybody's ball. Here's Sauter from midfield. Sends it to Finders. It's intercepted by the Cardinals. Feeney looking to win the battle. Is not, but the whistle.
And now the Cardinals get their first yellow card.
It's been 3 for the Eagles. 1 for actually the Cardinals' Brandon Flores, who has the 2 goals for Lawndale.
Another valuable player out in the closing minutes of the game.
Feeney seems to be okay. And as we wind down the second half, a good look and good opportunity for El Segundo to take the lead in regulation. Let's see if they can do it. Martinez sending it in. Looking for that height. Feeney gets a piece of it, and it finds the back of the net. The Eagles score! Wow! 3-2, El Segundo late in the match. What an opportunity, what a goal.
Man, haven't seen much of Feeney today, but when he shows up, he makes it count. That was a nice goal. I wasn't even sure it went in. It seemed to almost stun the goalkeeper. He was just frozen, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's in the back of the net. Beautiful. Love games like this.
Great heads-up play by Feeney, sticking with it. They find the back of the net. And what a team effort to come back. And obviously this one still has a few more seconds here remaining in regulation. But if this stays, what an effort by the Eagles.
And this is when the Cardinals really start to regret the time stalling that they were doing to try and run out that clock, because now they desperately need it.
Yeah, that could come back to bite them. Because they played with a lead for most of the game, and now they're behind. They're trailing. So the pressure now on the guys in white.
Oh, that didn't look good.
Oh, there's an altercation here, a whistle, and we mentioned this game was super aggressive, and now a late hit and a red card comes in. Red cards.
And Andy's running over there to separate his players.
Number 5 came in, Diego Ortiz, out of nowhere with an unnecessary late hit after the officials and everybody was already there. We have
the Eagles have a player down.
Martinez down.
Not quite sure what happened over there.
And what a terrific game, and to see something like this in the end really kind of puts a damper on things here.
Man. So I saw 2 reds. I don't know who they were given to.
Yeah, the official just put the red cards up just to kind of signify, I think, just to say, hey guys, calm down. We're not going to take this and try to calm the situation as much as possible. And actually, the big story here, they're carrying out number 12, Alejandro Martinez, the sophomore. That could be big if that's a serious injury.
Oh, we really hope it's not, especially not this late in the game and not this early on in the season. Keep in mind, this is their 4th game of the league.
Yeah, this, like I mentioned, he got that game-winning goal against Culver City last match. Has played terrific so far. Started, like you said, today. And these two teams, it was aggressive. It was fun, but now, never condole this kind of action. More yellow cards given out on the Lawndale side. Coach Kelly trying to get his team to calm down. And
yeah, he's made absolutely clear that if anything silly happens, he is not going to stand for it.
That's a good job by Coach Kelly to step in there and calm the situation down. This is just an unfortunate event that happened to a terrific game that we were watching, and now the Cardinals and the Eagles with this little mishap here, like I said, putting a damper on things.
Big time. And I mean, it was only a matter of time before tempers started to boil. You hope that the game was going to finish before we saw something like this. What's going to be interesting now is how the referee is going to restart this game. This has taken a lot of time, and we were in the closing minutes. And so the referee is the one who determines the amount of stoppage time that is left, as well as how they're going to restart, because I'm not quite sure how that ended. If it was a throw-in, if he called a foul. I just saw the altercation, and then things kind of exploded.
And not just that, you also have to be careful now with the emotions high as they are. You don't want anyone else to do anything out of character and do anything that's unnecessary this late in the game. So, so after all that, here we go. Back at it, Finders heads it in, and Infante gets in front of it. 3-2 game. The Eagles taking the lead late. They had to tie it up late in the second and then score another to take the lead 3-2. There's Sauter. And now you got to wonder, these officials are going to call these whistles quick, even if there's any sort of contact, just to prevent anything further from happening here. This was a 1-1 game at the half, and it really opened up in the second half, and we saw some terrific soccer. Here's Finder heads it back. Sam Twig is there.
Tries to earn a corner, but is unable to. All right, he calls a handball.
Yeah, he put that's number 23 for the Cardinals. Edwin Gonzalez put his hand behind him, but the ball did look like from up here. Touch it. I'm sorry, it was 21. Alejandro Santana.
So the Eagles ask for their 10 yards. Referee says the Cardinals are back far enough.
Here's Casey Lunn. Too much power on that one.
Just too strong, too strong. Now we're starting to see some real bunker defense from the Eagles, greatly outnumbering the number of attackers from the Cardinals. Just playing it safe.
There's Sauter. Malcolm Holtzman.
He's taking it to the corner. Probably going to try and slow down the game, stall some time.
Now, late push comes in from 23 this time, Edwin Gonzalez.
But that ends the game.
Yeah, good call by the officials there. That's going to do it. 3-2, the Eagles win this one and remain unbeaten. So El Segundo advances to 11, 1-2, 4-0 in Ocean League play. The Lawndale Cardinals drop to 7, 10-3, and 0-4, unfortunately, in Ocean League play. Ryan, quick, your thoughts besides that little damper there. A terrific game, just as advertised.
Oh, definitely. This game at any point could have gone either way. Both teams had opportunities. Both had different strategies of playing, but both went and followed through with their strategies. And we just saw a great game. That's it. Hands down, a fantastic game.
And good to see the handshake here at the end of the game by both teams. In the end, it is a sporting event. We both played. Emotions do ride high sometimes, but it's still a game. It's still sports. And we love watching it. But great effort by the Cardinals. Despite their 0-4 record in Ocean League play, they did not play like an 0-4 last place team here today. They did a great job, and there's a round of applause by these fans here and everyone. A good game for us to watch and call, and we appreciate you for joining us. Again, the El Segundo Eagles defeat the Lawndale Cardinals 3-2 in a nail-biter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to wrap this one up. Welcome back inside Hazeltine Field. Again, the Eagles defeat the Lawndale Cardinals 3-2 and remain unbeaten in the Ocean League and at home. Let's go down the field with Ryan Denham. He has an interview.
Thanks, Gideon. I'm here with Coach Kelly, coach of the El Segundo Eagles. So, Andrew, what do you think of today's game?
Similar to last game that you guys were at, last home game, it was far more difficult than it needed to be. It all boils down to taking your opportunities and being clinical in front of net, where I thought it could have been 2-0 for us in the first 10 minutes. Ended up being 1-0 us down, and we got lucky once again, similar to last game, to goal right before half to tie it up. We're really creating our own problems by not putting teams away, and defensive errors and lapses immensely.
Okay. So what are you planning to take forward into the next game?
It's great the amount of opportunities we're creating. We're definitely going to be a team that creates opportunities throughout, and that's going to be something that we'll look forward to in games. Hopefully we'll be a little bit more clinical. We definitely have shown great character by coming back from behind or tied or in difficult situations. So that's something that's a good characteristic to take forward.
Awesome. Well, thanks to you a lot, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck with the rest of the season. And Egidio, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Ryan. That's going to do it. The Eagles, again, stay unbeaten in Ocean League play and hold on to the #1 spot in the league. Again, we thank you for joining us here from Hazeltine Field. For everyone here at El Segundo TV, for Ryan Denham, I'm Egidio. Thank you so much, and good night.